So this is a reading of my newest blog entitled Everything I'm Not. I'm sure we all wish we had certain characteristics, traits, maybe even circumstances. It's easy to focus on all of the things you don't have. It's even easier to focus on all of the things that you are not. Of course, I wish I was 6'4" and could dunk like Michael Jordan, but I'm not, and I can't, and that's okay. But to achieve a level of self-awareness that most people fall short of, you must focus on all of your strengths, not your shortcomings. Like Kanye West says, everything I'm not made me everything I am. So with that being said, I want to explore a bunch of things that I'm not, and I'm going to do it for all of the world to see. I am not a highly focused task machine. I went to school for engineering and work with engineers on a daily basis. They are incredibly intelligent, and most of them have a mind-boggling ability to focus. They are absolute machine-like in designing new mechanical systems, solving incredibly difficult construction administration items, and scouring through manuals littered with graphs and data to support their design decisions. I am quite often floored by their ability to work without interruptions, without BSing at the water cooler, even without scrolling the Instagram feed on occasion. It's truly remarkable. A big part of me wishes I had the ability to focus for hours on end like that, but I'm simply not that guy. I have extreme difficulty in the task world, and always have. My energy is restored and replenished through people. I am energized by interactions, new connections, and idea exchanges. Essentially thinking out loud, talking people's ear off, and campaigning and/or selling things. In engineering school, I just couldn't understand how some kids could study for 10 to 12 hours in a day and stay focused the entire time. My mind just does not allow that. However, on the contrary, I could spend days on end meeting and talking with new people and leave feeling more energized. A lot of people I know would find that to be torturous. But for me, barricading myself in a library to study all day alone is pure torture. I am not a natural superstar athlete. If you read my first book, you'd recognize this truth immediately. I was the absolute worst player on my baseball team at 9 years old. It was undeniable. I was completely afraid of even swinging the bat, yet for everybody else on my team, baseball seemed to come so easily. My biggest accomplishment at that age was not jumping out of the batter's box the second the ball left the pitcher's hand. Seriously. I felt like other sports were a little different in my younger years, but I wouldn't say I was the best at any one sport. I was talented and athletic, but I always felt like there was one guy who was better than me, and it just came naturally to him. I never felt like sports came naturally to me. But I think not being incredibly natural is what made me so hungry in the world of athletics. I simply wasn't built like LeBron. I couldn't fly through the air like Air Jordan. And I certainly never hit a 540-foot homer at the age of 15 with a wooden bat like Albert Pujols. True story. As much as I wished I was an MJ, a LeBron, a Mike Vick, or even an Albert Pujols, I wasn't. I was the guy who had to work his butt off to succeed in that realm. I often think that if sports did come easily to me, I wouldn't have worked so hard to succeed. And for that, I'm incredibly grateful. I am not a fearless public speaker. People think this comes easy to me, probably because of my background in sales and delivering live webinars to sell my books, but I get just as nervous about this as most people do. I have given many speeches in my day, and I feel like almost all of them have went well, but it's only because I get so much performance anxiety that I over-prepare. The truth is that I get butterflies in my stomach like no other when forced into these public speaking arrangements. I am not good at keeping my opinions to myself and letting things roll off my back. I am not a naturally calm and relaxed person. I am not the person who is even-keeled, see above, in all situations. I don't let things roll off my back easily. Simply put, I am a very passionate and sometimes dramatic person. Shut up, Mom. Speaking of my mom, she has always been adamant that I pursue a career as a lawyer because apparently I don't give up easily or ever in trying to convince others to my way of thinking. Has this ever gotten me in trouble? Of course. The truth is that I get fired up about a lot of things: saving money, building better habits, developing a vision of what you want your life to be, the economy, politics, etc. I have strong opinions that I feel are based on a lot of thought, reading, and research. Not to mention the fact that I care deeply about other people. I truly want what's best for my friends, family, and readers. I want to be a resource for my network. So yes, I have a tendency to write about, post, and share information that is controversial and stirs the pot a bit. But I want to inspire people to think for themselves, challenge the status quo, and ultimately help people make discoveries that will enable them to become better people in the end. I don't think this will ever change. I am not mediocre, nor do I tolerate mediocrity. I demand a lot from myself and will continue to do so. I am always looking for an opportunity to be a better businessman, a better friend, a better boyfriend, and just simply a better person in every way. It is my goal to become a positive influence to every single person I meet, and ideally, every single person who is exposed to my writing as well. But if I feel like I've fallen short of that, I am very hard on myself. In fact, I think I might even be a little too self-critical, even to a slightly unhealthy degree. But I don't accept mediocrity. To me, it's a cop-out. Life is about constantly moving forward. Of course, there will be failures. I've had many, but I don't allow myself to wallow in self-pity or make excuses. I demand that I get better every single day. I think you have the choice in every situation to either make an excuse or make a change. I choose to make changes when I see them necessary. I've always wanted people to remember exactly how I made them feel. I want them to smile when they hear the name Matt Harris. I want them to know that I'm a person that they can trust. I want them to know that I'm a person they can always come to with any problem, knowing I will do everything in my power to help. To become this person that I just described, I must reject mediocrity and demand perfection of myself. Obviously, I will never achieve perfection, nor will anybody. But the first step to becoming who you really want to be is to get crystal clear about exactly who that person is. Once you do that, you must develop the habit of being very tough on yourself anytime you are acting in conflict with that vision. So yes, I am hard on myself, but it's only because I know exactly who I want to be, and I won't accept less than that. I am not a person who settles. This might be another one that's to a fault, but I don't settle in relationships, and I don't settle on goals that don't push me well beyond my comfort zone. I am not a person who seeks comfort. In fact, I crave the opposite. I want a challenge, and I want to constantly be pushing the limits of my mind, body, and relationships. I want to do things that nobody believes are possible. I want to accomplish everything I possibly can on this earth before I leave. I want to grow every single day until I die, whenever that may be. I want to leave the world a better place than I found it. I want people to be inspired to think bigger, dream more, and make more courageous attempts more frequently, simply because they met me. To do this, I can't be a person who settles on goals that aren't insanely challenging. I can't be in relationships that don't push me to be better and to be more. I just can't settle into a comfortable routine that simply pays the bills. It's just not me, and it's not what I'm cut out for. Lastly, I'm not a coward. I will always stand up for what I believe in, even if I'm standing by myself. I'm not afraid to fight. Even when I was little, I would stand up for the kid who I felt was unjustly being picked on. I will fight injustices tooth and nail until I feel like a victory has been achieved. See, too often we focus on all of the things that we are not, which I know is precisely what I did in this blog, but I did this to make a point about your perspective. You can constantly spend your life focusing on everything you're not and fall into this horrible habit of wishing things were different. That's no way to live. For every weakness you have an equal and opposite strength. I've always believed that you have a much higher propensity for growth if you simply focus all of your energy on the things you're good at and do everything in your power to limit the amount of time you spend on things that you suck at. If you take nothing else away from this blog but an obsession with identifying your strengths and all of the things that you are, you will see wonderful things happen in your life. Instead of trying to fix your weaknesses, simply allocate more time and energy into your areas of natural strength. And to echo Kanye West's theme that I mentioned before, everything that you're not makes you everything that you are. So stop focusing on what you wish you were and simply be the best version of you that you can be.